Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I talk about what you want me to talk about. We got Kid Wilkes says LA Knight's hatred for the Bloodline is turning him into Drew McIntyre's levels of hatred. I'm okay with that. Drew McIntyre, when he turned heel because of the Bloodline, it was like nothing he said was a lie, and yet the way he came across and how likable the Bloodline just are made Drew into a justified heel. And LA Knight, well, yesterday he took advantage of Solo Sikoa and a Samoan spike to Jimmy Uso. He flat out saw that a Bloodline member cheated on his behalf. Even if it wasn't really for LA Knight, he took advantage of the cheating and he got the win. So now you could say that LA Knight's a hypocrite. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I would love to see a hypocritical LA Knight. In fact, I would love to see a hypocritical LA Knight with a hypocritical Drew McIntyre. That would be amazing. Those two together, I would love it. And I hope they play this up even further. In fact, I wouldn't even mind if Solo and LA Knight started palling around with each other. I think that would be a funny duo. Solo Sikoa is hilarious, but he never really has anyone to bounce off of because he's always put in a leadership position. So, make them kind of equals. I would be okay with that as they do a two-man war against the Bloodline. Malcolm Bowen says, I'm happy for the Street Profits, but will they have a good title reign? ? And Sean Storm says, the Street Profits holding the belts is actually lame. Nothing about them is new or compelling. Well, you see, I don't think it's lame. I actually am happy that the Street Profits are champions. However, you are right. There is nothing compelling about them. But that said, I don't think there's nothing compelling about the Street Profits. I think the actual statement is there's nothing compelling about the tag team division as a whole. So yes, it's great that we got the belts on the Street Profits. I'm very happy about that because they're well deserving and a great flag bearer for the tag team division. Problem is, who are they going to face? Straight up, I don't even know if there's one tag team on Monday Night Raw right now. Like, legit, I guess. Alpha Academy? Are they still considered a tag team? Otis and Tozawa? What is one tag team on Monday Night Raw for the Street Profits to have a compelling feud with? Heck, even the way they got the belt wasn't really that compelling. Heck, even the way they got the belt wasn't that good of storytelling. They've been literally just attacking the Vision since WrestleMania. They haven't really done anything in way of storytelling around them trying to get the belts other than we're going to attack you. The biggest story beat of their feud so far was knocking Angelo Dawkins out so Montez Ford could learn to trust Seth Rollins. How is that the tag team championship storyline? So I understand what you're saying. You're right. There's nothing compelling about them winning the tag team titles, but the problem is there's nothing compelling, period, about the tag team division, and WWE needs to fix that because the Street Profits, they are compelling characters, but they can only be as compelling as the stories dictate it. So if you give them nothing, then they'll have a nothing storyline. And you know what sucks about me saying all of this? People are going to be like, why do you hate the Street Profits? You said they weren't compelling. I did not say they were not compelling. I said the tag team division is not compelling, and that will reflect upon the title reign of the Street Profits. People will be like, oh, the Street Profits title reign sucks. Well, I mean, if you give them nothing, then yeah, it's gonna suck. Liv Morgan could be a great women's champion, but we've literally given her nothing as champion, so her title reign has sucked. Jade Cargill could have been a great women's champion, but we gave her nothing in way of storyline, so her title reign sucked. Io Sky's title reign sucked as well because we gave her nothing. But people only hear what they want to hear, and if you want to win this title, you can. All you got to do to win this title right here is comment below and subscribe to the channel. You see, I'm going to give away this belt right here, or any belt you've seen on my shoulder. I'm trying to quit my day job, so help me out. Comment, subscribe, and please like the video. It's free. It's literally free to like the video. It costs you nothing, and it helps the channel so much. Boys, gals, this is not a toy. It's a replica. It's about $600. I'm trying to bribe you. Subscribe, comment, like. All right, more hot takes. Killer Wolf says, Lyra turning on Bayley wasn't on my bingo card. And Bishop Marley says, Lyra turning on Bayley was unexpected and I loved every minute of it. Excited to see where it goes. So I'm glad that you guys were caught off guard because wrestling's always better when, you know, the unexpected happened. For me, I could see it coming, especially last night because like Michael Cole just kept saying, oh wow, there's so much pressure on them to win. So much pressure on them to win. Okay, Michael Cole, we get it. There's foreshadowing and then there's spoilers. And to me, Michael Cole was pretty much saying, keep watching guys, keep watching. There's a lot of pressure on them. You never know when it's gonna blow. However, that said, my question is, should it have been Lyra or should it have been Bayley? I'm actually very excited to see Lyra get a chance at being a heel. She's such a happy-go-lucky character that sometimes when they go heel, it surprises you. Sometimes you can be like, that just does not seem like a heel, and then they're the best version of themselves when they do turn heel. Sami Zayn is an example. When Sami first came to the roster and he first turned heel, I was like, oh God, Sami Zayn as a heel is just not gonna work. Now, I personally hate face Sami and only love heel Sami. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the case for Lyra. Very happy that she gets an opportunity to spread her wings, pun intended. But there's a part of me that's like, maybe we should have done Bayley, because don't forget how this relationship kind of formed when Bayley was having two voices in her head. We had Ding Dong Hello, Bad Guy Bayley, and Hugger Bayley, and they were like all like just talking and everything, and she was so conflicted and insane and crazy. And then one day, the voices were just gone. We didn't have a therapy session, no nothing. They were just not there. And I thought, well, maybe if we had turned Bayley heel here, we could have brought those back. We could have said, you know what? I made a deal with the voices that if I could win championship, they would shut up. Well, we couldn't win the championships, and they told me that I needed to take you out, so I did. Yeah, so like, I think the right call was Lyra. I don't like when they drop storylines, but Lyra, I'm very interested in seeing. Jimbo Slice says they really need to make some progress on this Maxine and Theory connection. I still don't get why Maxine is acting like a heel. I don't even have an idea as to why they're talking. Feels like it's been weeks. So it's been more than weeks. It's been months. March was the first time we saw in the background Austin Theory talking to Maxine Dupri, and it looks like she's definitely gonna be a heel. Now, everything she said last night to Chad Gable was legit, and I'm actually happy that she didn't just accept Chad Gable's apology, because Chad Gable was doing some pretty nasty things. I mean, the dude had a belt and was gonna whip Otis with it. So, like, that's something you can't just forgive. So, like, everything Maxine was saying was legit, but you know that it is leading to a full-fledged heel turn, which I'm all for. Kind of like what I said with Lyra earlier. Sometimes these characters that are like, you just cannot see as a heel do their best work as a heel. Now, I will say, though, that I feel Maxine Dupri could cut a really good babyface promo, and we should have explored her more as a babyface. Well, Chop, she was the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, I know that, but that was like a 3-month period, and it's like they took her off TV after that. No, you see what they could do on the long term, not just in 3-month spurts. So, yeah, I think there was more legs for a babyface run with Maxine Dupri, but not gonna lie, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. However, this connection of her and Theory is moving at a glacier pace. Literally March, April, May, June, 4 months. 4 months, and so far the biggest development we've had between those two was one time Otis got a little mad at Theory and she was like, oh, just calm down, Otis. Alfonso Passion says, so Night of Champions is just Night of some champions now? More like Night of 3 champions defending. I wish at least Penta was on the card. So you could argue that the Crown is a championship if you want to argue that. However, that said, like, maybe just don't have Seth and Braun on this card. Just have it all championship matches. Just have Night of Champions. Mr. Pete says, I wish Mr. H would have done something creative, like maybe have Brock Lesnar attack Oba on Raw, take him out of the King of the Ring, and replace him with Randy Punk or Cody. I don't think I would have gone that far, but I do like the idea of Brock actually attacking Oba on Raw, and then he says something along the lines of, I am not going to attack you at Night of Champions. No, Oba, I want you to win the crown. I want you to go to SummerSlam and win the championship, because when you do, guess who's waiting for you at the end of that night? Once you pin the champion, 1, 2, 3, my music is going to hit. That would be kind of cool, because then Oba Femi, he gets to win the crown, the championship, and instantly a feud waiting for him. Usi Sensei says, you can tell WWE were testing how well Oba can cut a promo against someone with a huge crowd control, and he handled the situation and the battle really well. I am glad they are letting Oba Femi start talking on the microphone. He is definitely way more than 4 moves of doom. I hope they give him microphone time, and I hope they start letting him wrestle more. But I will say this, one of my favorite things about Oba Femi right now is the fact that he does not care about the crowd chanting his name. He's like, all right, guys, let's go. I got stuff to say here. I love that. Also, Usi Sensei, I saw on a previous comment that your birthday is on the 25th of this month, so happy birthday. I don't know if I'll be able to do a John Moxley video for you, but I wanted to acknowledge your birthday. Fry Vol says, Jay's still a Nepo baby, bad at his job. Well, you know, why did you have to throw in the Nepo baby thing? I mean, if he's bad at his job, then he's bad at his job, but you don't need to call him a Nepo baby. WWE, AEW, full of Nepo babies. So many Nepo babies. It's okay to be a Nepo baby even. Dominic Mysterio's a Nepo baby. I think he's pretty, I like him. I'm glad he's around. I'm glad he was born into the business, because he was born for the business. Now, if you think that they're bad at their job, then fine. Just acknowledge that they're bad at their job. Don't have to bring in other factors. That said, I like Jey Uso. I don't think he's bad at his job. Adam the Alien says, Chad Gable's apology tour is annoying me. Can't put my finger on it exactly, but why I feel like he should gain the trust of everybody and turn heel. Yes, please. Please. This apology tour. I think you and me, Alan the Alien, were the only... Adam the Alien. Is that an Invincible? Is that an Invincible reference? Because that would be cool if it was. I think we're the only two that want Chad Gable to be heel right now. Charles Yancey says, I personally thought it was the wrong decision to not put the belts on Lyra and Bayley. They have put in the work. And so, yeah, you know, it would have been nice if they could have got one title reign. I am shocked, actually, that they did not get the titles at WrestleMania. It seemed like everything pointed to them winning the championships. Takeshu says, Dirty Dom versus Gable will be good. Hope it leads to a Triple A storyline. I hope Gable and Dom, they don't, like... I don't want that happening in WWE, because it seems like Undertaker knows how to book Dominic Mysterio and Chad Gable. So I'd rather just be a Triple A matchup. And honestly, it'd be kind of cool, because we go back to that heel turn. We have Gable win the Triple A championship, and then he is a heel. He did it because he wanted another shot at Grande Americano. He's like, all right, Grande, you may have took my mask, but I got the belt. Let's go. TTJC says, I hope Dom takes Herman Americanos under his wings and reforms Gringo Locos as a faction, because they deserve better than just being stepping stones for Chad. You know, that's a good point. Chad Gable is on this apology tour. Well, what about the people he's leaving behind now? He's trying to apologize to the Alpha Academy, but what about American Made? He should at least say something to them. He should say something to American Made, how he's a changed man, and he wants them to become good guys too, and they're like, no, that's lame, that's stupid, and then they attack Chad Gable or something. But as of right now, he's just abandoning more people to make amends with people he already abandoned. Errol Noir says the ending was pretty dumb. Braun Breaker saw that Theory got hit, but instead of helping him, he ran after Seth? Well, I mean, Triple H loves to book Braun Breaker to look like a moron. Just a straight up moron. You could argue that Braun Breaker was just so incensed and mad and wants to kill Seth Rollins that he wasn't thinking straight. But the fact of the matter is, he's been booked to be a moron for the last, like, I don't know, since he joined the Vision. Faza Rip says, they made Oba lose a lot of aura. Jay basically punked him. He ran it back in Oba's face, and he didn't do nothing about it. Not just that, but Oba literally said, you better not run it back, and then he ran it back, and Oba just stood there. Now, I brought this up yesterday on the One Take One Shot, and there were people that were like, oh no, it made Oba Femi look like very mature. I just disagree. I agree with you, Zipper, Z-Rip, that Oba should have murdered Jay for doing that on the spot. Or at the very least, he should have pretended like he was going to murder. When Jay went and started doing the yeet, Oba should have grabbed him, almost went for the fall from grace, and then put him down, and then he said, that's my warning shot to you. Next time, I will murder you. So, like, I just don't get why we allowed that to happen. I love AEW Wrestling says, I think the Vision is the worst team that I've seen in WWE in 2026 and a long time, because they can't win the big one and every member is ruined. I think the Vision is like the worst faction I've seen since what? Core, C-O-R-R-E, with, what was it, Wade Barrett, Ezekiel, Justin something, and not Heath Slater, man, whoever they were, whoever the 4 members of the Core were, that might have been like, or the League of Nations, but, you know, maybe League of Nations, because League of Nations was a team of very powerful people, while Core only had like 1 or 2 powerful people. But yeah, either way, Vision, they suck. And I hate saying that because I like every member of the Vision. But together, Nike fan says, I actually think that Jay versus Cody for the WWE title could be a great match at SummerSlam. And also, when are you going to do another Q&A? The thing about Q&A videos is that typically people don't watch them because they want to know what's going on in WWE, not really what's going on with Wrestle Chop. But with Jay and Cody, I think that I would be interested to see that, actually. I definitely would be interested to see it. I just don't want it to be at the expense of Oba Femi. Cam Nami says, if we do get King Yeet, he should go after Roman. Ooh, plot twist. I don't know if we should do the breakup of the Bloodline just yet, because they just got the band back together, but you know, Carmichael says, LA Knight is not taking crap from Adam Pearce, and it's awesome. Plus, he's got his old theme back. Everything he does is just awesome, and he will always be my god. LA Knight, yeah, I don't, almost any other era, the guy would have been a top guy. Oh, it's so frustrating. And I do love that he's literally calling out Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce is he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, Adam Pearce. Quit it. Quit the charade. You are literally letting Roman walk all over you. And it's just crazy that LA Knight's the only guy calling it out. That's why him and Drew McIntyre need to team up. Because Drew would call out the shenanigans of Nick Aldis, and LA Knight's calling out the shenanigans of Adam Pearce. Now, granted, Drew was kind of taking liberties with the truth, but LA Knight, he's just saying it how it is. Adam Pearce is literally bending over backwards for Roman Reigns. Literally, I'm going to fire Jacob Fatu. Roman, no you're not. Adam Pearce, okay, no I won't. Please, push LA Knight to the moon. All right, boys. All right, girls. See ya, bye.